Welcome to the channel. I am the host. This is A Different Liberal. I will always keep it real with you guys, no hesitation. So let's get into it. Some of Harris's staff went on a podcast to talk about what happened in the election. Let's see how this goes.
But I do think a narrative, 107 days, 2 weeks fucked up because of a hurricane, 2 weeks talking about how she didn't do interviews, which, she was doing plenty, but we were doing in our own way. We had to, be the nominee, had to find a running mate and do a rollout. I mean, there was all these things that you kind of want to factor in. But real people heard in some way that we were not going to have interviews, which was both not true and also so counter to any kind of standard that was put on Trump that I think that was a problem. And then on top of that,
okay, I'll agree with you on this point because she did do a lot of interviews in the time frame that she had.
We would do an interview, and to Stephanie's point, the questions were small and processy and about
dumb.
They were not informing a voter who was trying to listen to learn more or to understand. And I'm not here to say that the whole system was focused on us incorrectly. I'm just saying, again, of the things we need to explore as we move forward as a campaign and as a country, that does a disservice to voters.
So now you're blaming the media of your failures? This makes no sense. It's your job to inform us of her plans and what direction she wants to take for this country. For someone in politics, you've never heard of, changing the narrative to get all your points across? And put in that work.
It's always worth reminding people, it's really hard for Democrats to win battleground states. Okay? Unlike making excuses, this political environment sucked. Okay? We were dealing with ferocious headwinds. And I think people's instinct was to give the Republicans and even Donald Trump another chance. So we had a complicated puzzle to put together here in terms of the voters. And it was going to take a little bit more independent Republicans than we saw in 20, maybe 1% more Republican voters for us. It was going to take voters saying, even though I judged Trump's first term favorably, I'm more concerned about him this time. We had to get more voters to say that.
Oh, poor baby Pluff. You don't get no sympathy from me. If life was supposed to be easy, everyone would be rich. And I don't care if it was a complicated puzzle. Puzzles are meant to be put together. And speaking of rich, to this day, I still don't know what she was going to do to bring down inflation. It must have been one of those middle pieces of the puzzle.
But just a reminder that we understood the work we had to do. And when your opponent is trying to make you more extreme and to make you dangerously liberal, the ways you can push back on that, we talked about the trans ad earlier, is by having people stand with you that don't agree with you on everything. But
this is my problem. Why do you think you need to push back? To me, you should lean in on being more liberal. It's like Tim Walz giving kids free lunch. What a crazy boogeyman he was. At least he stand for something and not fall for everything.
And we can go into a conversation on people thinking that Democrats are squishy and, the conversation we just had about transgender and the conversation that Republicans in the House are trying to make us have on bathrooms right now. We can talk about how we're going to get people's wages up, how we're going to, create programs for people that don't go to college but still can figure out how to build their careers, about how we finally, address the sandwich generation like the vice president was trying to have of caring for kids and being able to afford childcare, but also having to care for ailing parents. These are the type of issues that aren't squishy or masculine, but they are real life. And I think if there's one conversation that we should have as Democrats, we got to get back to those issues because those are our issues. We're the ones that find the solutions to those. And my coming up in politics, we're the only ones that cared about them. We have to get back to those bread and butter type issues that change people's lives.
Question. We can't do both? Because it seems to me you want to run as far away as you can from basic human rights. I can't let my dignity slip that easy. Unlike this new way of thinking, I can walk and chew gum at the same damn time.
Jen said earlier that, this isn't the problem of a 107-day campaign to solve. It's a party problem. Republicans don't make Trump apologize. And as Stephanie said, we don't have to mimic it. But I think that there are a lot of times where if you're in the Democratic Party and you step out of line,
Yeah.
you get punished for it.
And that was what
Not
I was
by-
trying to say.
Thank you for being more direct, Quinn.
Yes.
You get punished for it by your own party.
The voters should expect their elected officials to apologize. This is the separator of class and dignity to a fucking cult leader. But my bad for calling out my elected official. Carry on.
Apologizing for this so that we're keeping our coalition together. Meanwhile, Trump is putting these Republicans in the worst possible political, or what would seem to be, and they support it because they're, at the end of the day, they understand that it weakens Trump. And, this may sound like a shot across the bow, but it should be. Democrats are eating our own to a very high degree. And until that stops, we're not going to be able to address a lot of the things that just need to be said. And like for the masculinity piece of it, men don't like people that apologize. I don't know what age bracket, but it's called like standing on business. If you say something, you mean it.
This dude can't be serious. He just said men don't like people who apologize because you're less of a man if you do. What a weak-ass, unserious point. Sorry. I stand on principle and being a real man, and not worried about what people think or say if I do. To me, this is standing on business. I wonder if he thinks I mean it. Like I give a shit. Thanks for checking out the channel. You guys know what to do. Subscribe, help me reach more people. I am the host. This has been A Different Liberal. Peace.